So usually when we think of G3 comps, we think of things like this and this and this, but usually not something like this, and this is also a G3 comp. For context, the reason that I started watching this guy's replays in the first place is he was aggressively using all of the Twin Angels, and I was looking for some Fire Twin Angels gameplay, and I was like, I wonder how people are using this, maybe I'm using mine wrong, and I saw his gameplay, and I'm like, he was just using all of them, it didn't even matter if it was right or wrong, he just thought, I'm gonna use all Twin Angels regardless. So, he stopped using that comp since then. But I still think that it's interesting enough to see some of his gameplays because it's units that you wouldn't think are like, wow, the most crazy G3 ridiculous things. Although I will say that a lot of people have been using Veligil nowadays, which is kind of nice to see. That was one of the units that so many people seem to get in the very beginning, and I was not one of them. And it took me years to get Veligil. I was so excited when I finally got him, but. Yeah, there's a lot of people right now using Veligil, which is nice. Nice to see. Also nice to see the Fire Twin Angels. Twin Angels in general. Light ones look nasty though. Like good nasty. Like set up some nice cleaves with those. But you know, the LDs always look nasty. Alright, so LD5 gone. They have to win with these Twin Angels now, though. The Twin Angels, one of the great things about them, I mean, the Fire ones need a buff. Don't get me wrong. I know we're seeing G3 gameplay. I still feel like the Fire ones need a buff. But one of the nice things about the Twin Angels is they have a lot more flexibility than normal units because you could just do so many different combinations of things with them. You could do one thing with one unit. You could do one thing with another unit. It's kind of like having 5 units on the battlefield. 2 of them are weak, but... So there is an LD5 on the team. However, I don't know if it's going to get, it does get banned out. But you see, like, this is not a comp where you're like, you stick these 4 units in RTA and you're like, wow, I'm going to get G3 with these 4 units. And he, of course, he does change things around and play with a whole bunch of different things. But it's nice to see things that you wouldn't normally expect. That's kind of the whole point of this is it's nice to see things that you wouldn't normally expect to be top tier units. Smeister though, top tier unit regardless. But I think this is good for a lot of casual players to see like maybe you don't have to go crazy and try to wail for all these things. It is about picking the right units for the comp. It is about making sure your rune efficiency is good. And it is about getting lucky. Sometimes you got to get lucky too. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you got to get lucky too. But look at this. He's got this Fire Pure Vanilla, by the way, is actually a nice counter to things that decrease attack gauge, especially Oliver. But yeah, that was the whole point of why it is in the game to begin with. I think Comtois did a good job of making that unit serve a specific purpose. It's not for everything. If people don't do RTA and they don't get Olivered all the time, they're probably not going to get a whole lot of usage out of it. But in this instance, it's actually a very solid unit. That team on the right-hand side looks like something that I would not be able to use, is what I was going to say. Something that I would not be able to use. They're definitely taking turn 1 with the Triton super fast base speed. However, I would guesstimate that between the Vertiheel and the Light Eye Vertiheel doing Vertiheel things, they still can, well, I was going to say they still can AoE strip everything, but not if the unit is stunned. And they just concede after that because Vertiheel, fusion unit, 4-star, fire 4-star, still one of the strongest units in the game. It feels almost like it's an opener for like low-level gameplay with the Veligil and the Cigar, and you're like, how's this going to be G3 gameplay? But it is. It winds up being actually pretty solid. I'm really glad Veligil, I'm going to sound like a broken record this video, but I'm really glad Veligil is actually a part of the meta. Always had a soft spot for him. Ooh, they did not get the CC on the Fire Pure Vanilla. Not that they really needed to, but this vampire is going to be a little bit ridiculous in a second. I really wanted to see more of the Twin Angels in general. It was really cool to see the Twin Angel comps he was running, even though I'm sure he stopped using them because the win rates were not that great just using Twin Angel gimmicks the entire time, but I appreciated it. I thought it was nice. It is really nice to use some tanky units against the Julienne. That unit is so ridiculous. He has pretty sizable damage on his skill too. It's hard to kill him. I mean, you know that. That's why he's so strong right now. After the buff he got like what 6 months ago, 9 months ago. I don't remember exactly when it was. They're just ignoring him completely. They're like, I'm just gonna go for other stuff. He's tough to kill. Although now they can just keep doing damage to him. They're gonna suck up the HP from the Fire Pure Vanilla, but at least eventually it's gonna be easier to take him down or take the units down by hitting him than it is the Fire Pure Vanilla. So as soon as they get the HP down enough on the Pure Vanilla, they're going to just kill him. The Julienne. Because now this should be dead. Well, if they do lethal damage to him. Yeah. As soon as it's under 30%. So we see this is actually a different player this time. I just wanted to see some more G3 gameplay that is not what we would expect to see. So now we see it starts off, we got some LDs, we got the 33 speed lead and the Pure Vanilla, and then we see some like Belinus and Coco. Probably not expecting those units to come out. Are they going to go for the Vanessa with the ignore defense, or are they going to go for something else? No, they go for the guaranteed kill rather than the let's hope we crit. All right, so we got strips, defense, breaks, chaos magic circle. Do they violent proc or no? Do not violent proc. Belinus is nastier than I think a lot of us give him credit for, though. The people that use Belinus know that he's nasty. That's why they use him. But yeah. Every time I see Belinus, or use Belinus even, I'm like, man, I gotta use this thing more. But this one is a little bit more of a bruiser, but he could do some decent damage. Or get some more defense breaks. He's nice in a shield will cleave team. With something like Hey Gang. Or even just a will cleave team with bruisers. This is another player. This is not necessarily the same one. It's just I thought this comp on the right-hand side was interesting. The left-hand side, you're like, okay, I would expect that. Right-hand side is like, we got some Water Twin Angels. We got a Fire Desert Warrior, which we usually don't get to see him too much. So I thought it'd be nice to see this. And then they don't have anything. They don't have anything super... Well, I want to say they don't have anything super ridiculous. I mean, some of the other units are pretty meta, though. But it's nice to see the Fire Desert Warrior. And no LD5s, no 33 speed leads. You got the Oliver and the LD5 on one side. And you got the Fire Desert Warrior. No speed lead. Cigar. I think a lot of casual players are still not using Cigar. People that play RTA on a regular basis, you're like, you know Cigar is part of the meta. But there's still a lot of people that that haven't really warmed up to him yet. Here's another one. I thought it'd be nice to see some more of the Fire Desert Warrior. Considering we can't do it on our own accounts because we didn't choose him because I'm a dick. So, yeah. Fire Desert Warrior and twins. Oh, and twin angels. That's the whole thing. I wanted to see some twin angel stuff. But sadly, specifically the Fire Twin Angels, but sadly, not the most meta units. Not the most meta. They need a buff, man. They really do. I gotta pick this on some account. We gotta play around with him. He's a fun unit. He's pretty tanky too. He is a tank, so he's a pretty tanky unit. He can stand some hits and he can do some damage. But then I might have to use my my Fire Mage less, and I do different setting. Cause that thing, I love to put like no crit rate on that and use it against Leo Ragdolls. Among other things, good against Camille's too. If there's no crit rate and it just does attack-based damage. Look at that. So nice. I'm gonna try to snipe him at some point, I suppose. Do they take him down? No, that's the beauty of him being tanky. Not infinitely tanky, just tanky enough. So let's see. They do have some heals, though. Yeah, they do have heals with the Veligil. Is that going to be enough? That cigar's doing a decent amount of damage. Let's see if these Water Twin Angels can steal the show. Probably not. Maybe. I mean, they're here for a reason. Actually, they're noticeably more meta than the Fire ones. The Water Twin Angels get used all the time. Fire ones... Yeah, there's a reason people are using the Water ones and not the Fire ones. Also, Water ones have a speed lead, so that's definitely tilting things in their favor. But anyway, that's it for this one. Just wanted to show you guys some things that are G3 and a little bit off meta. I know we still saw a lot of meta units, but, you know, I'll take the weird ones where I can get them. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you as always in the next one.